Hi, my name is Brent. I'm with UTV Labs. One thing I notice on the forums is a question that is consistently asked, and that is, what are people using to navigate? Over the years, I've used a lot of different devices, mostly Garmin units. But with the advent of things like Google Earth and the ability to see aerial photos and where you're going, I found my iPad to be the best for me personally for navigation. The key to using your iPad is you need to have one that has a GPS chipset in it. The beauty of this is I can take it anywhere with me, whether I'm in my truck, I'm in my RZR, I'm on my boat, or I'm on my dirt bike. The iPad can go with me. There's lots of different apps out there. Gaia, onX, ViewRanger, Backcountry Explorer. There's all sorts of apps you can use. You can try different ones, see what works for you. I'm not gonna get too deep into that because it's kind of a rabbit hole, but there's a few different ones that I like to use, and I'll jump in the RZR and show you what I like. Now that I have it mounted up, I can kind of go through and show you some of the different apps that I like to use. One of my favorites as of recently that I just purchased is onX. I really love this app because it gives you the ability to not only navigate, create routes, share routes. It allows you to pre-download the maps to where you're going, which is very key. If you're using an iPad and you may or may not have cell signal, or you don't have yours hooked up to the network, you want to pre-download your maps. But one thing I love about onX is I can see what type of land I'm riding on. If I pull this up, it'll show me if I'm on state land, it'll show me if I'm on BLM, federal, Forest Service. I really love that about this particular app. I like to know where I'm at, if I'm on private land, whether or not I should be there or not. Also, what I've learned to really like about onX too is it does have a boatload of trails that are already marked on here. It is nice that I can see all the different kinds of trails and whatnot. You can also choose what kind of ride you're using, whether it's a dirt bike, 50-inch, high clearance, full width, and so on and so forth. So we can see on this map here that there's a bunch of different options of different types of trails. One thing that I love is when you purchase this app, you can also put it on your phone. On my phone, I like to use that on my dirt bike. So if I have a track on here that I've been on and I want to either go on that same track on my dirt bike, or something I found on my dirt bike that I want to go on my side-by-side, I like to utilize multiple devices on different vehicles, and it's nice because you can share the information. Another app that I really like to use that I've been using for a few years now is ViewRanger. What I like about ViewRanger is, again, you can have the aerial photos, you can have multiple different kinds of maps, but you can set waypoints, you can track where you're going, you can see all over on the map with aerial photos, you can see in quite a bit of detail. There's a lot to be said for this app, and I've just learned it, I know it, so I've been very comfortable using it over the years. One thing that I do really think is cool about this particular app is you have a buddy beacon. If my friend is also using this app, we can turn on our buddy beacons and I can see where he's at. It does take cell tower connectivity, so it's not gonna always work if you're way out there in the desert or in the mountains, but it is a pretty cool thing that you can use so you can kind of keep track where your buddies are at. We've used it in Glamis a few times and it's awesome. If you get separated, which is very easy to do in a place like Glamis, you can see where your buddy beacon is at and then navigate towards them or towards each other. Another reason why I really like to use my iPad when navigating and exploring is it also becomes kind of a command center in your vehicle of choice. I can control my GoPros. So let's say I have a GoPro mounted on the front or mounted on the back. I can stop and start it. I can change settings. I can do a lot of different things just from sitting right here on my iPad. I also like to listen to music, and it's connected to my Bluetooth speaker or my Bluetooth headphones. So I can pull up things like Amazon Music or Apple Music or whatever you like to use. And now I have all control and it's all right here. And if I come to a stop, I can stop, start, I can turn up volume. I can do everything right here without looking for whatever device it is, that controls all these different things. Everything is in one place. Mapping, navigation, music, and GoPro control. Now it's time to go for a ride so you can see some of the apps working while you're actually out on the trail. Now that we've put down a few miles, you can see how the apps are reacting while you're driving. I really like both apps. They both have some really great strengths. They both have a couple of weaknesses. So I opted to run both at the same time so I can kind of go back and forth between them. But you can see how nice it is to have the big screen of the iPad right in front of you so you can navigate as you're going. I also really like the iPad because I can control other parameters on the vehicle itself, whether it's a GoPro or my music or whatever else apps you like, my speedometer app. There's lots of really powerful apps out there that are great for using in your vehicle of choice. Thanks for taking the time to watch this today. You can subscribe to my YouTube channel, UTV Labs. I'm also on Facebook and Instagram at UTV Labs.